T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Hello, and welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. This is the SmackDown and Rampage post show. There's so many things that's happened tonight on both shows. We're on our road to WrestleMania, of course. This is gearing up to literally probably one of the almost last episodes before WrestleMania takes place next week. So, I'm pretty sure we're ecstatic for that. I am your host for tonight, Driune, Santana, the EICOWT. And of course, I'm here with Queen Steph Hardy of the Hardy Podcast. How are you, Stephanie, on this wonderful Friday?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here with you as always. And it's just crazy how the road to WrestleMania is just popping off slowly but surely, but it's now, winding down and we're almost there.
We really, really are. Let's go ahead and jump right into SmackDown because SmackDown was an okay show. There were not that many matches that took place, a lot of segments, but not that many matches. So let's dive right in first. Of course, two breaking news that took place earlier. Shad Gaspard will be given the Warrior Award 2 years after sacrificing his own life to save his son. If you guys are too much not familiar with that story, I think it happened in California. His son was, I think they were in the ocean or something like that, near the beach or whatever. And I think that was like a huge wave that came and kind of his son almost drowned, and Shad stepped in to save his son and, just kind of sacrifice himself. And when that news broke, I was so heartbroken because I was a huge fan of Crime Time. Crime Time was everything back in the Ruthless Aggression era. They were everything. They were comical. They were just every time they came on, you knew their theme song. They was going to hit you with some type of crazy gesture, and they were extremely talented in the ring. And so, I'm happy that he is getting this award, and it's just he's getting this award for being a hero, saving his son, because it is, I don't know, but he's very, very well missed, and I wonder if JTG would be the one to accept this award on his behalf alongside his family too, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think that's amazing. And also another personal favorite of mine, Triple H announced that his in-ring career is over. He is officially retiring. As you guys do not remember, Triple H went into cardiac arrest, and he announced today that he will no longer be stepping into the ring anymore to wrestle. Triple H has given us a lot of years through a lot of different eras. We've seen so many different eras of Triple H. And he's given so much and he's done so much for a lot of the young talent down in NXT that we have seen progress to the main roster, have become successful. Even if they didn't stay with WWE and have went on to other promotions, they've Triple H saw something in a lot of these talented wrestlers that have came up that we have seen being on the indies and bring them over to NXT and beyond WWE. So I mean, it was his time, and I'm happy that I was able to be here to witness the times that Triple H has either made me laugh, made me mad on multiple occasions. He is definitely one of those heels that like he was like the perfect villain, and so on and so forth. So Stephanie, about these two, Shad and Triple H, like, what are your thoughts before we dive straight into SmackDown?
It's like hearing everything about Shad today, and hearing that he was getting the Warrior Award. That was a beautiful piece of news for me because a lot of people have been pushing for him, and bringing his name up for this award for in the years since he's passed. Because what he did is the ultimate heroic and ultimate sacrificial act, in terms of saving his son. And I remember being heartbroken, as well, finding out that they did find him and that he was no longer with us. But the idea that he's being honored in this way, this year is a beautiful moment for his family, for his son, for his wife, and also for JTG. And also, it sort of, calls in his legacy as a member of Crime Time and what his place in wrestling was. Even though it may have been short, he still had a place in wrestling and in other forms of media as well. And he is absolutely missed. And I'm so happy that he gets to be honored in this way because he definitely deserves it. And as far as Triple H goes, I broke down and cried at work when I saw that, because I watched the video and saw where he was, talking about how he was afraid for his life because that was a viral pneumonia that was affecting his heart, out of nowhere, and he had fluid buildup and all of that. And it's just like, personally, well, I've never gone through it, but someone really close to me has gone through something like that. And considering, knowing and being afraid of you losing your life and not being able to watch your children grow and being able to have a full life with your wife, I imagine that has to be the scariest experience ever. So I'm glad that he's still with us, and I am a little bit, I'm torn because I'm sad that he won't be able to wrestle anymore, but I am still happy that at least he's here to tell the story of how he made it and how he made it over that hurdle in his life. And I'm so grateful that I got to experience basically every part of his career, because they said like it was like 27 years. That's basically, I'm 28 years old, so he's wrestled, I've watched him my entire life. He's my dad's favorite wrestler. So to be able to experience all of that, and now he can retire on his own terms and not be taken out in a tragic way that it almost went. I'm really grateful for that. So I'm grateful for Triple H. I'm grateful for him feeding into the lives of other wrestlers who we see are moving forward in their careers and everything. So it's somber, but it's still a celebration. And that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I was surprised that he chose Stephen as well. We know how Stephen was down over in ESPN, but to definitely hear how he told the story and how he kind of got choked up in the midst of talking about it, just like, not now, Triple H. Look, we're already sad it's over. You not being to get in the ring anymore. Don't have us over here shedding more tears at the fact that you're telling this story and whatnot. But I mean, it's real, and it took place and it happened, and we're just happy that he knows that being in the ring is no more for him, and that's okay. And I think that fans have accepted that for the most part. Things that I'm still not accepting is the fact that I have to keep seeing this man on my screen every week. Okay, so of course, Roman and Brock. Brock Lesnar. Roman was not here at the beginning of the show. He was on his way. And Brock decided, well, you know what? I'm going to wait for Roman Reigns inside of his luxurious locker room, and I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna drink me some champagne. I'm gonna eat me some grapes. I'm gonna kick my feet up on his table and chill out for the rest of the night and just watch SmackDown and see how it goes. And that's exactly what Brock Lesnar did for literally the entire show until the end. So in the midst of all of that taking place, we got our first match of the night, which happens to be Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jimmy Uso. Of course, you guys do not know. Shinsuke and Rick Boogs are going to be facing the Usos at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And Bobby, you is my guy. You is my guy. But Shinsuke ended up coming up with the win, and of course, Jay found his way trying to interfere in the match some type of way, but Rick Boogs put that to a stop. And they ended up Shinsuke ended up winning the match. So it's like, well, when it comes towards WrestleMania, are we going to be looking at new tag team champions, or will the Usos still continue to hold those titles? What do you think, Stephanie?
Whew, it's kind of hard to say.
Bobby's
It's hard to say because it's just Shinsuke and Rick Boogs really want to prove themselves, right? As a credible tag team by going for the tag titles. And what better team to fight for those titles than the Usos, who are arguably the greatest tag team, one of the greatest tag teams in the history of WWE. And it's kind of hard to say because it's like the Usos really want to continue to dominate SmackDown and hold those titles because the bloodline wants to keep all the gold or silver or whatever. So it's just kind of like, so it's kind of hard to say, which one would have the most momentum going in. This is a match that I think I would just have to wait and see how it goes. But both of them seem very motivated, highly motivated to fight for these titles.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Joseph said that the Usos are a great tag team. Of course, there's no doubt. With this reign, I think it's ran its course. I see new champions at WrestleMania Night 1. I do too. I mean, I feel like, they've held this title for a while now. I don't know if they're trying to have them compete with what Roman has going on, but I think that it's time for everybody to lose the titles, in my opinion. So as we as we move forward into the next match that took place, of course, we got the return of King Woods tonight, because before King Woods came out, I mean, Ridge, Kofi said that, you're going to be facing the New Day, but he necessarily didn't say he was going to be facing him. And we got the in-ring return, TV-wise, of King Woods against not Rick, but Ridge Holland in a squash match. It was literally, he was in the ring for like 3 to 5 minutes, roll up, 1, 2, 3, and I'm out. Like, that is literally what happened in this match tonight. And I mean, how can you not be like, what the heck just happened? What is going on? Like, hello? What happened? Like, it's like he got caught off guard. And I mean, of course, you got Sheamus out there, and of course P Dunne, because I'm not calling him by that name that they gave him, out there. I mean, I feel like this feud is gonna, with these guys, are gonna keep going on until Big E comes back, probably, and it's gonna be like a faction versus faction type thing going on. That kind of ends it all. I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be upset at it. What do you think? Do you think this could end up in like a 3-on-3 match eventually?
I feel like it could end up as a 3-on-3. But the thing about this feud is, even as much as I love the idea that King Woods was able to come back in Kofi Kingston's aid, because y'all know I love him. That's my birthday twin. But it's just, with Big E's injury, I'm wondering how long they can stretch this out. And if the life of it can even last even past WrestleMania. And if they do like a faction versus faction thing, I'm wondering if it's possible that they could even bring in an honorary member in Big E's absence. Because a neck injury is a very serious injury to have to come back from. So I'm wondering exactly, like, if they, like, who exactly would they bring in to fill that space that Big E is clearly, left empty, in order to sort of squash that, because I don't see this feud going past April or even going towards May. So I don't know.
I mean, well, WWE likes to have storylines happening and then drop it out the blue. So,
Sure.
and then pick back up on it. You know what I'm saying? So, what if maybe WWE will probably do something like that? Like, okay, you guys are going to continue, having your feud and bicker or whatnot, but they're probably going to throw in them some random matches or whatever in some form or fashion. And then when BE does feel ready to return, of course, if they continue to keep this storyline going on, Big E's going to probably want to get his revenge.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind seeing an honorary, member come in. Let R-Truth do it. He ain't doing nothing. Put R-Truth with the New Day. I think that'll be great.
He would be perfect.
That would be great if you throw in R-Truth with the New Day. He's not really doing anything. He's not really going after the 24/7 title like that anymore. Put R-Truth with the New Day, and boom, let this be an honorable member as of right now in Big E's absence. Like, he can wrestle, he can talk on a mic, he will fit right in with them.
Yes. That's would be perfect, Driune. I love that idea.
That'll be perfect. That would definitely be perfect. What else is more perfect is the fact that, of course, Roman Reigns hiding out in his vehicle with Paul Heyman. Of course, he said that he is on his way. Him and the wise man are on their way to the arena. Blah 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 blah. Because I don't think I heard anything else important. And
they ate at a steakhouse in Brooklyn.
Yeah, they ate at some steakhouse in Brooklyn. Everybody cheered. Woo, steakhouse. He said that was the best steak he ever had in town, and so on and so forth. And it just like
sounded yummy.
Yeah, my mother makes very, very good steaks, but I'm not saying nothing about that. But anyway, as we still continue to wait until hey, look, you're right next door. It don't take long to pull up.
Yes.
So, but as we still wait for Roman to decide that he wants to make his presence known in Brooklyn, yes, woo steakhouse. So of course, we're on the road to WrestleMania. That means that the SmackDown Women's Champion title will be on the line at WrestleMania on night 1. We don't know where exactly it's gonna be placed on the card. But Ronda Rousey came out and she is on a Rampage, as what they said, but I don't know what happened, because obviously the promo didn't hit anything and it was just like not there. Here's the thing. Ronda is terrible on the mic. She is awful. Like I know she says some stuff that's just like can be very interesting, but it's really her delivery. I think that she needs to practice a lot more when it comes to her delivery, because she's terrible on the mic. I can't. You're an MMA fighter and you can't talk trash to nobody. Like, I know that maybe not something that she's pretty much used to doing anyway from looking at her career. Like, she's never really had to really talk that much anyway. But if you're coming over into what's considered to be sports entertainment, you're going to have to find a way to entertain the crowd besides your matches. And of course, she said, she was like, Charlotte, I'm going to break your arm. She called out Charlotte, and Charlotte was nowhere to be found but here on the screen doing some press work, I think, in a very, very cute outfit that I hope that she took a picture in so that we can use it for Turnbuckle Glam. If you don't know, Turnbuckle Glam takes place on Sunday, so make sure you check that out, because Charlotte may post her outfit that we did not get to see in full tonight. And Ronda basically just said she's gonna break her arm, She's gonna make Charlotte tap out, so on and so forth for WrestleMania. But I just feel like, I don't know, like Ronda, we know Charlotte can talk on the mic. We know that she can wrestle. I'm not the biggest Charlotte Flair fan. I leave that to my tag partner Nikki. But Ronda, in my opinion, Ronda really kind of brings this feud down. Like, I know it's a money grab. It's Ronda Rousey. You know what I'm saying? She came in with a name. Charlotte had to build hers. You know, even despite having a last name Flair, she still had to build hers. She still had something to prove. You know, just because your father was an amazing wrestler doesn't mean it's going to genetically trickle down to you. So I don't know. Like with Ronda, it's just something that's there that I'm just not clicking with. And I feel like she can do better, but it's just like she just come out the same week and just say the same thing in the same metal tone. I think if she switched it up a little bit, find her voice, I think she could be pretty good on the mic. But as of right now, I don't feel anything.
Yeah, I feel like her on the microphone isn't hitting as hard as it would have, say, maybe in her first run. Because,
Yeah.
like, I feel like in her first run, even though she started off sort of being the undefeated babyface type, it felt like anytime she was on the mic, it still felt like it was more livelier than what she's doing now. And I don't know if it's because they're giving her stuff to say, or if at one point she was more honest. And was more herself or what. Like, I don't know what exactly it is, because of course, you know, wrestling has evolved, or at least WWE in a sense has evolved since she's been gone, but I don't know exactly, you know, what is wrong and why her promos aren't hitting. I mean, because it's like what she said tonight was kind of scary in a sense, because of course, you know, when she said that when she broke her first arm, like when she was really young and she liked it, like that was creepy. But for some reason, you know, her talking about how much she enjoyed breaking arms, like it was like the words were there, but it's just like the delivery and the passion just wasn't there either. Like there's a lack of ooze
Yeah.
that's just happening with her, and I don't know why. And I feel like honestly, I feel like the only time this feud really hits hard is when they're both fighting each other and not talking.
Well, it seemed like Ronda's got beat up twice in a week. So unless she's gonna get beat up again I almost thought she was gonna get beat up the third week in a row. But I guess they decided they got tired of her looking like she helpless. Then they decided, like, you know what, we're gonna take a break from all this ass whooping that Charlotte has been giving her. And let's see what Ronda can do. And I think Ronda needs somebody else to write her promos or something like that. I feel like Ronda needs to tap into, I mean, her saying that she broke her first arm at what, like 14, and she liked it. Okay. I don't feel like you broke your arm at 14 and that you like it. You gotta have some type of personality, Ronda. You tell Charlotte, like, Charlotte, you know, I broke my arm at 14, and guess what? I really liked it. I enjoyed it. It made me feel everything. And that same pain that I felt at 14 is exactly what I'm going to give you at WrestleMania 38. So be prepared to lose your title to Ronda Rousey, the baddest woman on the planet. Ronda doesn't give me that. Come on now. How can you be the baddest woman on the planet and I don't feel nothing?
Driune, can we just appreciate the fact that you just gave us a promo, like on the cuff, off the cuff like that?
Yeah, I could read Charlotte Flair if I wanted to, but I'm not in a position to do so.
Miss
You know what I'm saying?
Actor, excuse me.
Not in a position to do so.
The nominees are girl.
You haven't checked out the promos that me and Nikki have done on Smack Talk Showdown, make sure you check that out as well, because we did some promos on that.
That was good.
I do a little something on the side. But yeah, I feel like Ronda should definitely do something like that. Like, change your tone, you know, and mean what you say. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out there with the mic like, you know, well, yeah, I came back from having a baby, and so what? Like, Charlotte, I'm gonna break your arm. I'm gonna make you tap out. Those mic down.
Yeah.
I don't feel anything. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Next week is a go home show for SmackDown. Maybe she'll do something different, change the game or something of that nature, and maybe give people a reason to really, really be ready for this match. We know that it's probably going to be a good match if you've seen Survivor Series. I honestly, truly, I was going through YouTube watching that match, and it wasn't bad. It was a really, really good match, to be honest.
Yeah, they tore the house down.
They really did. So if they could get if that match if that match similar to what happened at Survivor Series that year happens at WrestleMania, I think it'll be a pretty good match. It's just the promos are running in. It's just not giving what it needs to give, and I feel like she can do so much more. I really, really do. But on the side of that, someone who has been given a lot more, Ricochet, was here tonight. First, well, wrong graphic, but at first he wrestled Angel and he lost. And so because Humberto decided that he wants to insert himself into the match, and then Ricochet was like, you know what, Humberto, why don't you come on down here so you can get your butt whooped too, like your cousin almost did. Humberto comes down there, they have a match. Well, Humberto wins by countout. And it's just like, well, Ricochet, what's going to happen now? And of course, next week, there will be a triple threat match between the cousins, Angel and Humberto, and Ricochet for the Intercontinental Championship. I wonder how will the cousins coexist in this match. I'm pretty sure this is going to be, I don't know if this is going to be a way to break up the team, but I think Ricochet will still retain his title. I really do.
Yeah, I feel like Ricochet will retain his title too, because I feel like ultimately they'll probably start off the match working together to break down Ricochet, but then when one of them, only to turn on each other. Like I feel like that's how it'll work. I feel like this match was pretty good. The matches tonight were pretty good, and also I want to give a shout out to Layla Gray, who was the girl that got kissed on the kiss cam. And she posted about it on Instagram. Me, Lord. Yeah. It should have been Driune, but tonight it was Layla Gray, and I just want to give a shout out to her because she is a wrestler. She is a local wrestler, local talent who's wrestled in various places. So congratulations to her on that opportunity. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be interesting, and I feel like if given the time, they could tear the house down because both of those cousins are incredibly talented. And of course, Ricochet, he's just gonna fly all over the place. So
yeah, that was her, Nikki. She looks a little different outside of the tie-dye green gear that she wore on AEW Dark. So yeah, that was her. But I mean, I do agree. I feel like, of course, this match is gonna be very flippy. It's gonna be a lot of tricks taking place. Because Humberto, he's amazing in the ring. Angel is amazing in the ring, and Ricochet is amazing in the ring as well. So I feel like, give them something to do if you're not gonna put them on the kickoff show for WrestleMania at least, or something like that.
WrestleMania having a kickoff show?
They are having a kickoff show. It's gonna be on USA. So if you don't have Peacock, or if you don't have, the WWE Network for those who live in other countries, you can watch the kickoff show on USA Networks or YouTube because they do show it on there as well. But you definitely need to have Peacock and WWE Networks to watch WrestleMania. So just so you guys know that much. As we move forward. I know we had Sami Zayn back there, of course, talking about how he's going to beat up Johnny Knoxville and so on and so forth. I guess I'm excited for that match. I don't really know. But, I mean, it is what it is and what's going to take place. On to our only women's match of the night.
Oh, I have something else funny to allude to in that whole Sami Zayn part. His number is still working.
Of course, I believe it definitely is still working, and people are still FaceTiming him and calling him and sending him good morning messages and stuff like that, or good night messages, or please call me back, or I don't know, send me a voice note saying happy birthday, something of that nature. But yeah, so as we move forward to the fatal 4-way match between Sasha Banks, Rhea Ripley, Queen Zelina, and Shayna Baszler. Honestly, it was a good match. It started out to become very chaotic when Naomi, Carmella, Natty, and Liv got involved in the match some type of way. They started all beating each other up, and then they all got sent to the back. And I mean, this, like I said, this match was really, really, it was really good. It was really interesting. There was a lot of cool spots happening, a lot of submission going on. We got double bank statements on Rhea and Shayna and Zelina. Zelina was definitely a part of this action a lot, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
She had a lot of amazing spots. She's starting to get really, really good in the ring. But yeah, I mean, Sasha ended up taking the win for this match. And I mean, it just says like, well, could we possibly have new champions at WrestleMania? Will Queen Zelina and Carmella retain, or will one of the other 3 teams become the champions?
I'm calling it right now. It's going to be Team Boss Glow. They're going to be the new. I know they're not their real name, but that's the name I gave them. Team Boss Glow is going to win the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania, and Sasha Banks is finally going to have a WrestleMania win. And it's going to be awesome for those two, because I really feel like even though this past Monday on Raw you had Carmella and Queen Zelina sort of fighting and then finally coming to, finally reuniting or whatever, something's going to happen where Carmella's not going to be focused, and it's going to cause Queen Zelina to pop off, and she going to pop off on her, and they going to probably go to fighting again. And I really feel like Sasha and Naomi really could take it home. No shade to Rhea and Liv and Natty and Shayna.
I'm sorry. I do not want Rhea and Liv to win those titles. I really don't. I really don't. Like, I love Rhea Ripley. I'm a huge fan of her. I can care less about Liv Morgan. But I do not want them to win those titles. I feel like Rhea should not be sucked into another tag team just to give somebody a little WrestleMania moment who hasn't had theirs yet. So I feel like once this whole tag team is done with, Rhea needs to be finding her way into a singles title picture again. Somehow, some way. It's cool, they doing a little tag team or whatever, but I'm not a fan of it. Not at all whatsoever. Will this tag team match be elimination style? That I'm unsure. I really wanted this to be a ladder match for those titles. I really do, because I feel like they should up the stakes. Make it a ladder match. Let these girls
destroy each other.
Like, what? Let them do that. Listen, Sasha has been in plenty of matches. Naomi has been in a few matches. Liv has been in Elimination Chamber, of course, and Shayna, hello. Natty, hello. I mean, all of these women have been in Rhea, hello, War Games. So all of these women have been through different stipulations and matches that have put their bodies on the line and whatnot. So why not do it here for WrestleMania? Let's take it up the notch and put it in a ladder match. I think that would be great. Let those titles hang from the top of the ring and let them fight for it. Honestly, I feel like that would be great. I really do. Nikki believes that Shayna and Natty will win that match. Of course, Sam and this living nightmare will reign supreme, but nobody's checking for that. Chad said if Sasha and Naomi don't win, I hope it's Natty and Shayna. Then they have a faction with Ronda. I don't know about all that, but I want Shayna and Ronda to have a feud. I do know that. So
yes,
Ronda can beat her up. And Sammy, one of our writers, said, and why aren't Nikki Ash and Doudrop and Xia Li and Aaliyah at it? Technically, Xia Li and Aaliyah are not an official tag team, and nobody wants to see Nikki and Doudrop be a tag anyway. Let's start there. Nobody wants to see that. Joseph feels that Sonya Deville could stick her nose into this match and cost Naomi and Sasha the bad. Let's not speak that into existence.
Let's not.
Joseph, we would like to be on a PG type of show tonight, not rated R, because it might get TVMA, and I don't want to be violent. Okay. I really don't. But I
Mm-mm.
mean, I mean, of course, I wouldn't mind seeing um Sasha and Naomi win those titles. But I also wouldn't mind seeing Natty and Shayna win those titles. Queen Zelina and Carmella, I feel like they've been holding those titles for a while, but it's not their fault at the fact that they haven't had a proper team to have their, wrestle and have their titles, against and whatnot. So they kind of just been carrying it along just up until this moment. So I mean, it's great that they're finally getting some tags, happening, even though they're kind of put together or whatever, just to
Mhm.
have something to showcase for WrestleMania. And I think maybe eventually they're probably going to dismember those tag titles and not have it anymore because it's not really doing anything. You don't really have you don't have enough women. You can't just pair everybody together and call them a tag. It just don't work that way sometimes.
Yeah, and then if they do dismember them, at least combine them and turn it into a mid card title for the women.
At least.
At
Yeah,
least,
at
like,
least. So maybe Liv can win her first title and that'll help her out a little bit.
yeah.
Of that nature. But yeah, so that was SmackDown. But before, I mean, that was the last match on SmackDown. Because of course Roman decided that now at the end of the show he wanted to, make his presence known in Brooklyn and tell everybody to acknowledge him and so on and so forth. And Brock Lesnar decided that he wanted to be in the parking lot destroying the vehicle that they pulled up in. Him and Paul Heyman pulled up in, and well, Roman was talking a lot of things once again, second week in a row, and Brock Lesnar comes out there through the crowd. He hops on the commentator state table, scaring the heck out of Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. And as Roman was in the ring, of course, security all came out and tried to stop Brock, and all got beat down by a chair. And the chair is now 13-0 because nobody can defeat the chair. And once again, Roman runs away. Him and the Usos and Paul Heyman, they all skedaddle. And it's just like, well, then you get backstage, Roman, and you say, well, you're going to be the undisputed Universal WWE Universal Champion after you run away backstage. So it's like, look, next week I'm gonna need Brock to catch that man slipping and beat him up. That's all I'm gonna need. Catch that man slipping and beat him up for real, cause he keep ducking and dodging you like a bill collector or something. Like, it's you. What you running for? We're not gonna do this again. Like I said, like I said last week, how can I acknowledge somebody who runs away?
Right. Yeah. I am a little bit disappointed because they keep talking about how it's like they're doing like the bait and switch. It's like they'll bait you into a show saying, "Oh, they're going to be on this show together and they're going to be face to face."
Mhm.
And then they never be face to face.
I mean, well, they're supposed to be face to face on Monday, which
Yeah.
me and Nikki are on the Monday Night Raw post show, but however, the men will not be talked about. No, I will talk about them on my Twitter, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like with the whole Roman situation and Brock, I mean, it is what it is. Brock was left standing alone with the chair and his title at the end of SmackDown before SmackDown went off. And I mean, it is what it is. On night 2, we're going to have Brock versus Roman Reigns for each of their respective titles to unify them, and there will only be one winner. I'm going with Brock Lesnar because I want Roman to lose that title. It's time for him to lose that title. I don't care how many times people say, well, he's carrying the company and whatever. I don't see what he's carrying because obviously it's not that much. I'm bored. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know Brock Lesnar ain't a new person, but this is a different character of Brock that we're getting, that we're pretty much, not really. I mean, we're used to it when he's a heel, but as a babyface, this is fun. It's fun seeing Brock Lesnar act the way he acts towards Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns being a scaredy cat and run away. This is like Tom and Jerry, And Roman continues to run away. He picks, and then when it's time for business, he runs away. And it's like, well, can't talk about that trash, Roman, and run away.
Yeah. It is weird to sort of see the tribal chief, have all this big talk when him and Brock are not in the same room, but then the minute they get in the same room together, he just runs away like a chicken. Bok, bok.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a little bit annoying. So we shall see who will win because I really feel like it's going to be Roman somehow. Um, and honestly, I would want it to be Roman to still retain and just, have his supremacy with both titles because that would just razz my berries. But Brock Lesnar really he's really been on 10 these past couple of weeks. So I don't know.
Feud. He's been the star of this feud, honestly. He really has.
Yeah, I feel like something else happened on SmackDown. I can't remember though.
I know they did announce this Andre the Giant Battle Royal take place next
Mhm.
Friday. So we have, of course, the Hurt Business with Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, Akira Tozawa, Drew Gulak, Reggie, Commander Ortiz, the Viking Raiders, Madcap, Mansoor, R-Truth, who I mentioned earlier, Shanky, Apollo Crews, Damian Priest, one of my baby daddies, and of course Finn Balor, another one of my baby daddies. Bobby Roode. Did he change his name back to Bobby? I think he did.
No, it's Robert.
It's still Robert. Triple H, stunt double, Robert Roode, and of course Jinder Mahal. They will all be featured in the Battle Royal, Andre Memorial Battle Royal that will take place on Friday. So I don't know who's gonna win. I would hope that it's Damian Priest. I feel like this would give him something to kind of, I was really hoping that we would have got, Damian, and Demon King at WrestleMania, but
Yes.
probably we're not going to get that. Maybe we'll get that at WrestleMania Backlash or something, but I don't know. But I would like to see Damian win this match too.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I definitely would. And before we get out of here and go over to Rampage, of course, Ronda and Charlotte, we don't know which night, we don't know where they're going to be placed at on the match card. But like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of either of them, but I wouldn't mind Charlotte still holding this title. I really would.
Wait, I just remember what we forgot. Pat.
Oh yeah, Austin Theory came out there and smacked Pat across the head and then ran away like a mouse, and then Pat chased him and Austin ran into Miss McMahon's office, and Pat kind of stepped away and didn't go in there.
Yeah, and then he walked back to commentary, and Michael Cole was telling him, you was basically telling him that he couldn't let him, get to him like that or whatever. But my thing is, it's like I said, you can only be the nice person for so long until you get tired, and Pat is clearly tired, so stop expecting him to be the better person.
Let me tell you something. Pat don't have long before he can beat the brakes off that man. He really doesn't have long.
He doesn't.
And when he does, it's definitely going to happen. And I will be so happy for it because he's going to beat that man ass for real.
I'm ready for it.
I am too. And that was the end of SmackDown. And let's go ahead and run through Rampage because there wasn't that much that took place on tonight. We opened up the show with Dustin Rhodes, who should have been retired a long time ago. And
oh my gosh.
No lie though, I can't even lie. Dustin Rhodes, he gold dust in my eyes. I ain't calling him in no Dustin Rhodes, but in my eyes, I feel like he's been put on some really, really nice little matches, and he's been, for his age, he still can go with some of the younger guys or the younger talent. So I mean, I'm not mad at that, but look, your brother left, you can leave too. Yeah, the whole Rhodes family foundation can go. Y'all all can leave together as one. So
maybe he's not
other
ready.
than that, it was a really, really good match. Dustin ended up picking up the win, but Lance wasn't too fond of that, and he started beating the crap out of Dustin and put him through a table and all that stuff. He was like, not on my watch, not tonight. We're not doing that. No, sir.
And he was bleeding and stuff, and it was just like he really did just want to make a statement and say like, this is not over.
No. It wasn't by no means necessary. Joseph said, rankings wise, this would be considered an upset. Dustin beat number 1 Lance Archer of American Top Team, and Dan Lambert wasn't happy about that. Of course, I mean, how can you not? Why would anyone be happy about that? You know what I'm saying? Someone who's not happy that came out tonight, Fuego del Sol, who constantly gets jobbed out and beat up every week, every chance he gets. I don't know how many times he's been kicked in the face, thrown off of the stage, and possibly getting his chest beat in every time he stepped into a ring. And I mean, he came out, cut a nice little promo about being underrated, being the underdog per usual. And of course, he got met with somebody who he's has been kicked in the face by once before, Malachi Black and House of Black. They came out there tonight and beat the crap out of that man before. Dark Order made their presence known. And I mean, I'm always with the House of Black. That's why I always wear black, because I'm wherever black is, that's where I'm at. And and I mean, this is the start of something, like a few that try to, come out there after Fuego then got beat to sleep, because that man did not wake up after being beat up. And I mean, it is what it is. And I mean, I don't know. Like, I think this feud could really, really go somewhere between these six, even though that it has been going on. But I think it could end up into like go all the way up to maybe like Double or Nothing or something, like make it like a really, really big thing. So I'm pretty happy about that. What did you think, Stephanie?
I actually missed that part because I was doing something else. So I was in another room. That's basically what happened. I missed that part.
Look, that polar man get beat up all the time. He's just a little human punching bag. So that's about it. But we moved on to our next match of the night, which I actually didn't even see this on the match card, but it happened. We had Dark Order's Allen, number 5, Angels, and number 10 versus the Red Dragons, who are one of my favorites back in NXT and WWE, and now over into AEW. And the Red Dragons ended up winning the match, and of course, it started just beating everybody up once again. Before Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus came out there and tried to stop them, but they forgot their titles. They left their titles unattended, and Adam Cole came out there and snatched them like he snatched the AEW World Heavyweight title away from Hangman Page and took the titles. So now Adam Cole and the Red Dragons have the tag team titles and the world title held hostage. We don't know where it is, but you are welcome to call 1-800-AEW. And I'm pretty sure maybe we can all, if you have any insights on where those titles can be located, you may call that number or send a direct email to them. And I'm pretty sure they will give you some type of reward, maybe a ticket to Rampage or something of that nature. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that happened. And I don't know. I'm here for them holding all the gold. I really am. And I hope that it does happen soon. I really do.
Yeah, I can see it down the line. I can see that happening again, because even though on a slyway part, like when Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era did hold all of the gold at that point in NXT, even though they weren't insufferable, it was still a pretty dominant thing to witness. So if they do hold all the gold again in AEW, I would be interested in seeing that happen, as much as I love Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. So yeah, I would be interested in seeing that. But them stealing the titles though, that is a lot. Like, that is a whole lot of drama.
There have been a lot of titles being sold this week. There are a lot of titles being sold this week. They really are. First, it happened on NXT UK. There was a NXT Women's UK title stolen. And I'm just like, everybody this is a week of stealing titles, to be honest. So hide your titles, hide everything. It's people out here trying to take your titles unannounced.
They can't take my titles, dang it.
Not me, because they'll get hit with a hook. And speaking of hook, QT Marshall tried to give Hook a certification of accomplishment, but Hook came out there like I had said, he looked like Eminem from 8 Mile, came out there with the hoodie on and stuff like that. Like, why did you bother me? Like, what are you doing here? Like, you brought me out here for this, and it's just like, I'm about tired of you. But honestly, I feel like this is a really, really nice feud. It's interesting. It's funny. QT Marshall still trying to find his way to upset Hook, and unfortunately, Hook always give what is given to him, and there are definitely hands, and that's exactly what he gave tonight. Except he crashed He actually destroyed the certificate. He really did. And that's so sad because it was really, really ugly. So, I mean,
Oh, you thought it was ugly?
it was terrible after the fact.
I actually thought the certificate, before it got cracked was nice. Because it looked different than every other certificate I've ever seen because it was black, like it
It
had
was cute.
black paper with the font in his name, like the logo hook and everything. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
he wasn't feeling it. He did not care about that. That man was ready to go back to play the game, and he
cute.
was over it. It was like, you calling me out of my room for what? Leave me alone, please.
Hook doesn't
And
feel anything. Like he doesn't care.
that man just be like, what? What is it? What do you want? What do you want? What is it? Like, why is you bothering me? I don't understand. As we move forward on to a women's match of the night, of course, Nyla Rose, one of my faves, who's growing on me, who has actually been growing on me, especially growing on me on Twitter, because Nyla Rose is definitely a beast on Twitter. Like, she's always trolling somebody somehow, some way, and I mean, you just can't bet against Nyla Rose. She's everything. She really is. And tonight she was in action, and prior to her being in action, Chris Jericho announced her to be Sports Entertainer of the Week. Despite the whole situation that took place on Wednesday between Nyla Rose, Vicky Guerrero, and Thunder Rosa, the new AEW Women's Champion, they got a lot of criticism and backlash for what was stated in the promo that Vicky Guerrero said towards Thunder Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, a lot of people were not too fond of that at all whatsoever. But Nyla Rose continued to go on with it and was just like, look, what you want me to do, bimbos, boneheads? What you want me to do about it? Like, you're sensitive, you're mad. It is what it is. Like, get over it. And so on and so forth. So she had her match. She faced Maddie. I think Maddie was actually on Women's Wrestling Talk during the Mission Pro Wrestling panel that Emily had hosted along alongside Nikki with the boohoo. I'm screaming alongside Holly Dead and the Renegade twins and one more person that was there. I can't remember her name, but they had like a full panel on here. If you guys have not seen it, check that out. But Maddie, don't know, can't really pronounce her last name.
Rinkowski?
Yeah, her. That's who it is. She was there tonight facing Nyla Rose. Unfortunately, of course, she came up short, but she put on a good fight, and that's really all that honestly matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, she put on a good fight. That's all she could do. Honestly, what shocked me tonight was the fact that, like, I thought that maybe I misinterpreted what was going around on social media about us supposed to get a surprise woman was supposed to show up on Rampage, but unfortunately, she's actually supposed to show up on Wednesday for the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament qualifier match. Whoever this mystery woman is going to be going up against the Bunny on Wednesday. So make sure you tune in Wednesday to figure out who this mystery woman is. A lot of people have been doing a lot of speculations on who the woman could be. I don't know who it is. I would like for it to be Toni Storm, but I don't really know. I really be riding with Toni Storm. I really do. But I would hope that it would be her. But honestly, I really don't know who it could be. I really don't. But I am glad that we are starting to get more surprise women instead of like a whole lot of surprise men that we normally do get. Normally,
Yeah.
times we're always getting like men wrestlers who like come and surprise us. I'm glad that they're allowing the women to get some surprises. So I don't know who it could be. Like, Stephanie, who would you like for it to be?
Well, that's hard to say. It could be anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I know one of the rumblings is that it's possibly Athena. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's the one that I've seen. That's the name that I've seen the most. Who used to be Ember Moon in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen rumblings of Toni Storm,
Yeah.
and then it really could be anybody because they also do have talent who they could have brought over from Ring of Honor. So
True.
it could really be anybody. You just never know.
It really could be. Yeah, Joseph, I was just like, I could have sworn I thought it was tonight. But he said that TK overhyped the announcement by saying supposedly somebody would be debuting, but if so, I'm pretty sure it got spoiled by now. It really would have. Instead, we have to wait till Wednesday when they meet Allie, and that is true. It's getting old. TK does this all the time to trap us into watch AEW shows during slow weeks. A lot of us would watch anyway. That is true. Like they don't really have to force anybody to watch AEW. They're gonna watch it. Period. Sam thinks that it could be Melina, which I think it'll be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing Melina in AEW. Bring the splits to AEW. Or it could be Angelina Love or Mandy Lyon. That's interesting. But like me and Nikki have discussed, like I wouldn't mind seeing Angelina Love pop up in Impact. I really would not. Joseph said he's seen two Tony Storm and Athena. If it's one of them, their 90-day complete clause is up on Tuesday. I think Tony Storm's is up on Tuesday because Athena, I think she should be cleared by now to wrestle. I think she's cleared because she's been wrestling. You know what I'm saying? But I think Tony Storm's is the one um that's up on Tuesday. I think so. So yeah, I don't know who it's gonna be, but there's so many speculations on who it could be. I'm just ready to actually find out and on Wednesday, and hopefully it's something good. And make sure you're doing that time with AEW Dynamite. Make sure you do check out the after show that we do have for AEW Dynamite with Mika and Al. They both are doing the after show for Dynamite. So we're moving. Women's Wrestling Talk is expanding to not just AEW Rampage, but also Dynamite. So make sure you check that out on Wednesday after Dynamite is over with, because I know we're going to come in here and we're going to have a lot of discussions to talk about. So make sure you guys tune into that. And we get into our the main event, as Mark Henry likes to say every week. We had the FTW champion Ricky Starks versus Swerve Strickland. I believe it was for the FTW title. And honestly, as I was watching this match, it was really, really good. Swerve really shined in this match, and I feel like Ricky Stark, he is such an amazing talent. He has a lot of charisma, and someone like Swerve coming in who is an amazing wrestler. If you've seen him on the Indies or watch him down in NXT, I think they kind of watered him down a little bit. But seeing him in his true element, being able to try different spots or just really, really be in his element with wrestling, I think that he really gave Ricky Starks a run for his money in this match. Although he came up short because not Warlow, but what's his name, Powerhouse Hobbs, decided that he wanted to make his presence involved in the match, and he basically cost Swerve the match, to be honest. He became the distraction, and Ricky hit him with his finisher, and 1, 2, 3, that was it. And of course, there was a huge little celebration for Ricky Starks, but it didn't end the way that Ricky thought it would, because Keith Lee obviously is not a fan of Ricky Starks or Powerhouse Hobbs. And so, I mean, could we possibly have like a little tag team little thing going on between Swerve and Keith Lee? I mean, before the show ended, like it was a huge brawl happening. Refs were knocked down. It was chaotic as the show was going off. So I mean, could we possibly see a new tag with Keith Lee and Swerve? I thought maybe they was gonna let the Hitmakers pop in or something of that nature, but obviously we know how AEW and others feel about those three, or just one person in particular. But I don't know. I guess I can be cool with it. I guess I really need to see how it pretty much plays out for what happens with Keith Lee and Swerve and Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. What do you think, Stephanie?
I do think it is interesting to see. I feel like Swerve and Keith Lee would be a pretty dominant tag team, but I'm still of the school of thought that I feel like Keith Lee should probably qualify to possibly be AEW champion, because that's just him. He could very well be the guy that could very well be like the new champion. So I would prefer to see him in the championship picture than say in the tag team title picture, but if they did go in that direction, it would still be cool. And Swerve still has so much to prove. And he deserves to have, a star making turn. The star making turn that he didn't get to have on WWE television, sadly. But I feel like all of it's gonna be interesting. This match was really good. I was impressed with Ricky Starks and how he performed in the match and everything. Like all of them, did a phenomenal job. And then it was funny how all of it just sort of ended with a brawl.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was entertaining. It was an entertaining end.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Rampage was okay show, just like SmackDown was an okay show. There wasn't that much really that took place tonight. There was like oohs and ahs, except for what I would have thought would have been like the special surprise for the woman. But like I said, we have to wait until Wednesday to figure that out. And of course, just to let you guys know, heads up, Santana will not be here on Friday because it's WrestleMania weekend, and she'll be there covering a lot of other shows. I don't know why I'm speaking in third person, but I'm just letting you guys know. Just letting you guys know. So Stephanie will definitely be holding it down for SmackDown and Rampage.
That's to be determined as well.
That's to be determined as well. All right. So here's the thing. If y'all see us, y'all see us. If you don't, you know what we're doing. Just know that we're out here working and doing other things. Okay. Just so you guys know that. So don't come here thinking that you're gonna see us. And you don't be afraid. Don't be alarmed. Okay. Because we gave you a heads up. So you should be listening. But yeah, I mean, we're on the road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania happening next week. I would definitely be down there along with a few of our team. Nikki, Mika, Sam. I think Ella is going as well. And I think Emily is going too. But for the most part, if you pretty much see me, you're pretty much going to probably see Sam, Mika, and Nikki. It's going to be us four kind of doing a lot of the things, adventure out and so on and so forth. This is my first WrestleMania. I'm excited to go. I'm excited for everything that's going to take place. WrestleMania weekend holds me nothing. So whatever happens, whatever you see, just know that it's WrestleMania weekend and all bets are off. That's all I'm going to say. All bets are off. I am not me in WrestleMania. I am not. But before we go ahead and get on out of here, Stephanie, let everyone know where they can follow you at.
Well, as usual, I loved covering both shows with you, Santana. I love working with you, and you know that. But per usual, just know that you can follow me, Stephanie Hardy, at Queen Steph Hardy on Instagram and Twitter, and follow the Hardy Wrestling Podcast on Instagram at Hardy Wrestling Podcast and on Twitter at Hardy Wrestle Pod.
And of course, you guys know you can Google me, Driune Santana. Even if you spell my name wrong, you can still find me. I'm pretty sure I'll still pop up because I have checked it myself because I found different things on me that I didn't even know took place because they spelled my name wrong. So definitely find me on Google. But as far as like Twitter or anything, my Twitter handle is right there. It's just Driune, and on Instagram at Santana Muse. So you can find me there. Until next time, see you guys back on Sunday for Turnbuckle Glam, and of course on Monday, which will be our going home show for WrestleMania. So there's a lot that's going to probably happen on that day, and we're pretty excited for that. So we'll see you guys when we see you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk. Make sure you follow our socials at WWE Talk Pod, as well as check out our website as well at www.talkpod.com, as well as our other content that we have on YouTube as well. Until next time, thank you guys for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.